Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another show of Hbtv, the show with your host, Harry Bugarin. Tonight we have special guests, Dave OSMENA and Mike BORJA of Papo Js Lambanog vodka here. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. Very excited to have these guys on. And if you haven't already, please do me that favor. Go ahead and like, subscribe, share, and hit that little bell for every time that Hbtv is going live and if any other content has been posted to the website. So without further ado, just help me welcome my next guests, Dave OSMENA and Mike BORJA. Good evening, guys. How you guys doing tonight?
Excellent. How you doing, man? That's a great shirt, by the way.
I
like the shirt. Is that your design? Is that you?
Yeah, it's my it's a little simple design, man. I got some guys in my network. They practice Eskrima, Kali, and right. Some practice it with a K. So I've Eskrima was with a K or with a C or whatever, but. Just put this out a little bit. Some of the guys got it. Kali, Eskrima, Arnis. Do you guys practice at all?
No.
he's like no.
I like that shirt. Yeah.
I like the shirt.
All right. Well, okay, man. I love it. I love it, man. But how you guys doing tonight, man? How you guys doing tonight?
Good. I like your lid, man. Is that your own lid too?
That's my lid, man. It's a Hbtv. Golden state of mind right there, so just like I said.
I gotta sport our lid then. I think that's what we need to do.
Oh, absolutely, man. There it is. Let me get a clean shot of that lid right there, Mike. Yeah, just go to the camera right there. Papo Js Lambanog. Only good days, baby. Only good days. That's what we're all about here. Damn. That is awesome. I'm gonna put one of those lids myself when I get the chance, and make sure you guys do me a favor and hit me with that website when we talk about the products, when we talk about the swag, where people can get it and things like that. I'm definitely gonna get one of your hats right there. But yeah, hey, thank you guys for taking the time to sitting down with me. Very excited to have you guys on and talk to you a little bit about your journey. Your journey right here with Papo Js and things like that. Before we get into that, do me a favor, just quickly, one of you guys go one at a time. Dave, you can go first, I guess. Just talk a little bit about who Dave is, and then after, Mike, if you can do the same.
I'm Dave OSMENA. Mike and I met when we were doing environmental insurance. We just sort of wanted to get into a sustainable, a business that was socially friendly, environmentally friendly, and we ran into Lambanog and started hooking up with companies and making Lambanog, man.
Nice. And Mike.
Yeah, and I'm Mike, also co-owner. We're one of three owners of Papo Js. Definitely not the face, where Dave is the face because he's got a cuter face than I do. So, that's why I'm second in line.
Second line. And you guys just did mention that you guys have a third partner. Who's that? Let's give a shout out to him.
Yeah, his name's Joda. He's actually in Hong Kong. That's why he's not on this call with us. I think it's I don't know when it's like Wednesday in Hong Kong right now. I'm not sure, but he's actually he's our Far East guy, and he does the trips to the Philippines and makes sure everything is good there. But he's based in Hong Kong. We thought we'd give him an extra couple hours of sleep, so we left him off of this call.
Awesome, man. And again, guys, thank you. We got a couple people in our chat here. We got my wife here, Sheila, and my big sis, Faye. Thank you guys for joining us with Dave and Mike here. So really quick, just a couple questions just to start this off. Are you both local? Like, meaning, are you guys from the South Bay or in the surrounding area of LA? Is that where you guys grew up?
Yeah, I live in Alhambra right now. So basically, Chinatown East is where I live. So yeah, we've got a lot of the Chinese and got a mix of Latino where I live here in Alhambra. So I'm local.
You're local. And is that where you're originally from?
No, I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I grew up on the East Coast, and then moved out here in 1995. So basically, I've lived in California longer than I've lived in Pennsylvania.
So is there like a Navy base or something like that in Pittsburgh? Like what is a Filipino doing out there in in Pitt, man?
I've often asked that question many times, Harry. Believe me. You know, my dad is, you know, he was a physician, and so was my mom.
Okay.
My dad grew up in San Pablo City, Laguna, which is not too far from where our distillery is.
Okay.
My mom is Ilocano.
Yeah.
Ilonggo, sorry. Ilonggo. So she grew up in Iloilo in the Science.
Wow.
They actually met here. They didn't meet in the Philippines.
Okay.
They met in Pittsburgh, got married in 1969. And,
yeah.
And I grew up there most of my life, or my early life, I should say.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. It's great that you say that. And, you know, my parents, they grew up in the same village, same town back home, and just learning stories about, you know, what they went through and how they grew up and things like that, which is kind of cool. My sister actually bought me Ancestry.com kit. She bought me, and again, thanks, Faye. You know, she's on the chat. She paid about $100, and it's going to confirm that I am Filipino. I'm pretty sure that's all it's going to say for me. But love you, Faye. Thank you for that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I tell you what I did, Harry. You know, my dad just recently passed last January. But before he had passed, I made a point that I would just sit down with him and just not, you know, interview him, right? But really more of discussion. So on his 75th birthday, which was 2015, I paid for his trip to Hawaii for my mom and dad. And on his bucket list was to go see Pearl Harbor. So I took my iPhone, set the iPhone right there on the dining room table where we were staying, and just let him talk. So he told me his whole story from growing up, going through the war, how he made it here to the United States, and how he got to Pittsburgh. And so it was all explained how I ended up in good old Midwestern, you know, Pennsylvania. So, and that's how I got there. And that's how my dad got there and how my mom got there.
Man, that's gold that you were able to do that with your pops. We always, my wife and I always suggest to my daughters to do the same with my mom and just kind of interview them, but they're like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, just ask the question. But sorry about your loss, brother, and prayers to you and your family and during this time. What about
have you got the results yet? Have you got the results on your
Nah, man, it's taking like a I don't know, man, like 4 months, man.
It takes a while. Yeah.
No,
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I did that like a couple of years ago. I did that 23andMe. I think you'll be surprised. Like
really?
I got it, and I've got.
What you get?
I think Philippines. If you're from the Philippines, I think you got a lot of everything in you. You know.
Okay.
So there's people pass through the islands. And,
what surprised you? What surprised you as far as your makeup?
I've got you know, because I think my great grandfather was Australian, so he was probably a convict, right? And came in.
Hey,
that explains a lot.
That does say a lot. And then I've got, you know, there's a lot of Spanish, a lot of European, and you know, my last name's OSMENA, which means there's some folks that probably came in through the Ottoman Empire somehow. And
whoa.
So I think you probably, you know, I think Filipinos tend to get a lot of everything in there. But I was born in the Philippines and moved here when I was 6 or 7. Kind of went to straight to Beckley, West Virginia for a few months, and then ended up in the South Bay pretty soon.
Okay.
Pretty soon after that. So I kind of grew up in this area. I'm in Redondo Beach now. It's not far from you there.
Yeah. That's where I was born, actually, and that's crazy, man. I'm interested to see what my results are. Like you said, you know, obviously, you know, we have Malay, we have Chinese, we have, you know, all that stuff, but I might be part Pandesal man or part, you know, just the different things out there. But that's really cool. Thank you guys for you know, breaking down where you guys from and things like that. So just to go on with your guys' journey, right? So like before, you know, I got my bottle. One of my first sponsorships for the show, Hbtv, Papo Js, Lambanog. Let's get that Lambanog, right? It is it is labeled vodka, but you know, let's just getting out to the audience. This is Lambanog, and you guys gonna explain what that exactly is in a minute. But Before this even came out, this is awesome, man. This is dope, right? So before this came out, I know you were talking a little bit about like being in insurance, but I mean, what was going through your guys' minds during that time? Did it jump off with you, Dave? Did it jump off with you, Mike? Like, how did this all come about? Were you guys at that insurance gala, you know, that you guys have, like, hey man, we're drinking all this stuff, why don't we just make one of these ourselves? Like, how did that pop out for you guys? What was the mindset? What was going on during that time?
You know, for me, it was sort of as growing up, I grew up in predominantly a white neighborhood.
Okay.
I think I was the only. There was one other Filipino guy in the whole school. It was no one knew who we were, you know, or what we were. So we kind of got everything. I got called every derogatory race you could think of, because no one could figure out where I came from.
Okay.
But you know, but with I also had awesome friends, you know, and we shared. I'd share. One of the things we could share was our food, which was fun to share, the culture and all that. And but by the time we got to sort of stealing liquor from our liquor cabinets, or from our parents' liquor cabinets, you know, my buddies were like, my German friends were bringing out stuff, and my English friends, you know, guys from England were bringing out stuff, and French guys were bringing out stuff, and I didn't really have anything to share, so I wanted I was at a bit of loss there. And then I kind of remembered stuff from the Philippines, like the Lambanog, you know, like I remember old guys with a jug with a little ring on it, and they throw it over their shoulder and drink stuff. I'm like, what was that stuff? You know, and I finally figured out, like, oh, that's Lambanog, and it's interesting because it's made out of coconut nectar. It's absolutely unique to the Philippines. So I started chatting with Mike, like, we should figure out a way to bring that stuff in. So we started, you know, anytime somebody would visit us from the Philippines, or someone would go, we'd say, bring us a bottle of Lambanog, you know, and we got everything from just straight up, you know, 180 proof rocket fuel. The stuff that tasted pretty good. we got stuff that tasted like bubble gum, like they put bubble gum flavor in there, all kinds of flavor in there. But yeah, so we just sort of kept looking, and we decided, you know, we should bring this stuff in. And so we started looking for manufacturers, and started working with a few folks, and called up our buddy Joda, who was in Hong Kong at the time. You know, and I said, hey, you got to go meet some folks. And start talking to them, and I sent him on this big journey. You know, he called back like, where did you send me? Because I sent him way up into the hills. He said it was like a Denzel Washington in American Me, when he went on a boat up into the country.
Wow.
Picture this. He's what, 6'2", right? You'd say 6'2", Japanese guy. So there's already, you know, total paradox there, right? So, and he's basically trying to make his way through the southern provinces of Luzon, trying to look for this place. I was just happy that they didn't, that he didn't come back with the decision to come back with bubblegum flavor for our liquor, because that's what Dave brought back to me, because I'd asked Dave to bring back some Lambanog, and Dave brought back some bubblegum flavored Lambanog, and it took me about 5 years to finish that sky blue bottle of Lambanog.
That's wild.
I did finish it, but you know, for me, Dave and Joda had always had this idea of starting out this Lambanog company, and Dave approached me about 2 years ago, and he said, hey, Jonah and I have found a place. We decided on a distillery. Love to get together and have lunch, and you know, see what you think. So at this time, I wasn't one of the investors in the company at the time, and we met for barbecue. He brings a bottle. It's a clear bottle with his homemade label. It says Papo Js Lambanog. It looked like a typewriter. He took a typewriter and basically put it on a label and slapped it on the bottle. And
I'd love to see that label.
Oh, I got it. I got it somewhere. It's in the archive somewhere.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It will go into the Papo Js Museum. But
yes,
you know,
we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back.
We should bring it back for the reserve, I think.
That's right.
So he poured me a glass, and I was hooked. And I said, I want in. And you know, it checked off all the boxes that Joda and Dave had talked about: sustainability, was really one of the keys, because that's where Dave and I, and Joda as well, had met from the environmental world. And also what's great, and Dave can talk about this a little bit more, it's our distillery is run by women in the Philippines.
Wow.
Which is great. And I think Dave can kind of talk a little bit more about the history of the distillery, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, what we did find was like, what really excited me about the whole thing was we did find a distillery. It's run by two ladies. They learned how to distill from their mother, who learned how to distill from her father, or from her father. So it's about 3 generations old distillery. It's a copper still, and it's fired up by corn husks. So they literally just burn corn husks to heat up this still, and that corn husk, the ash from the corn husk is the only nutrients that they put out over the coconut fields to fertilize the trees. So that's what we sort of love about it is the trees that produce the nectar, they don't require any other fertilizers. They don't require any pesticides. They don't require any herbicides. They don't even require irrigation. It's just natural rainfall. So it's just a beautiful plant with no serious environmental impact at all.
Wow.
And all of the nectar that's sourced for our product is local farms. So there's not a sort of corporation in sight. There's not like a dull sugar plantation that produces this. It's all local folks making the nectar. They collect it by hand. It's crazy to watch. There's videos on YouTube where you can watch guys climbing a coconut tree, which is, that's 40 feet up in the air, and they climb up there and they'll chop off the end of the flower. So it's not made from coconut water or the coconut itself or coconut milk. It's the nectar from the flower before it even becomes a coconut. They shave off the flower and let that nectar come out. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the whole coconut thing, but that nectar is actually pretty sweet. It's like a kid's drink straight from the flower. It's nice and sweet. You cool it off and drink it. Or you could let it sit for a couple of days and it becomes tuba. You probably heard of that.
Yes.
That's a nice it's basically like a wine, like a 15% alcohol wine. But the really good stuff is you take that and then you distill it. So you boil off the alcohol one time and you get that, and that is what we have, the Lambanog. So it's like this super distilled, pure little alcohol from coconut nectar, and there's a little bit of sweetness that comes from the nectar itself into the bottle. So I don't know, you can say better than I don't think you get what we sense is that you get that 80 proof spirit, but you don't get that sort of muscular bite that you would get from like other types of alcohol.
You don't get that 80 proof face, is what Dave's really trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to fake smooth. You don't have to
No, and what you're saying about that? I shared this. I shared a bottle with my guys from from elementary school, junior high school, and high school. Right, we all got together a couple weeks ago. And I just said, hey man, you guys want to try some of this Filipino vodka, man, Lambanog? And they're all down, man. All brothers from the neighborhood, man. Shout out to B Ward, Darrell, Brandon, and T-Bop and Quay. But yeah, we took shots of it, man. It was real smooth. It was really cool. I love it. So again, I can't say enough about it. We got one Gabe Bernard from Nomadic Outpost. He loves this stuff as well. He'll tell you all about it, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this product. You guys are watching HBTV, the show, with my special guest Dave, OSMENA, and Mike BORJA. So, really quick, as far as you guys went to, or Jota went to the Philippines, and the reason why I'm asking this question, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of distilleries. I could be wrong. Maybe that is the only one, but like in your process, right? How did you just say, hey man, this is it? I think it's really cool that the one that you did choose is ran by the Filipino women out there, the two ladies. But what was that process? Because as you know, everybody got ideas, right? We all got cool ideas. Everybody talks about it. We talk about it. We write it down. We put it here. But it's just an idea until you take that first step, right? So I'm pretty sure you guys were taking notes. You guys were talking, after the 10th insurance, gala that you guys went to, crossing and say, hey, we can do this. We can fill this room up with some Papo Js. Like, how did you guys go through that process and say, hey, this is the distillery that we're going to do. These are the people we are going to do business with and things like that?
Yeah, so we like I said, we shipped a bunch of bottles over. Anytime somebody went, we would say, like, just go find something and bring it over. And there are a lot of people who make Lambanog in the Philippines. I think if you actually Google Lambanog, you'll get a lot of articles, and there's a lot of, it's not super regulated over there. So you get a lot of backyard manufacturers. And I still think that I say this is sort of like Lambanog is that sort of the great forbidden secret of the Philippines, right? So if you go there, you will see, you will go and walk into a roadside stand, a sari-sari store, right? I'm sure you're familiar with that. Yep. You go in there and you'll see, like, in the back shelf, plastic bags or old Pepsi bottles made, with Lambanog in it. And that's just made by somebody, we don't know who. And then, but there are a few FDA approved Lambanog manufacturers or Lambanog makers, sites that make Lambanog, and they concentrate, and that's what they do for a living. They're not, uncle, or they're not Tito Harry sort of making Lambanog in the bag, right? and so we tried to find those guys, and then we tried all of their bottles, and then we found this great little spot that made Lambanog in a bunch of different ways. So we worked with them and said, we sort of tried different bottles that they would produce until they sort of came up with a bottle that they could do every time and make super safe. Like, you gotta, when you're distilling, you gotta throw away a certain amount of the top portion that comes out, right? And then you gotta, well, not throw away, you just use it for something else. You don't drink it. And then you don't use the bottom portion of the stuff that comes out of the still. You want that very sweet middle piece, and that's what we use for our Lambanog. That middle piece that's just nice and tasty and super safe, right? And that's what we found. And then what makes it even, what attracted us even further was that it was this woman-owned distillery sourcing everything locally from farms that are all owned by Filipinos. Because that is one of the things that we wanted to do was support a local economy. We actually, we wanted to support local economy, but what we ended up doing, or what we're doing, is just creating a market, right? We're creating this market for Lambanog. Our goal is to become a spot on everybody's liquors cabinet and a spot in every bar's shelf. So, we've got, you're going to have vodka, rum, tequila, and now you're going to have a Lambanog portion of that shelf. That's what we want to do. And it's all going to come from manufacturers in the Philippines. Because one of the things that, Mike and I are both immigrants. Our folks sort of felt a need to move. And one of the things that the Philippines one of the greatest products of the Philippines is expats. We've got women who leave their families to take care of other people's families all over the world, from the Middle East to America to Hong Kong, Japan, everywhere. You've got people leaving their homes, making money, and then sending all that money back home. We're sort of looking at it as, you don't have to leave a home. We want to create an industry in the Philippines where people are staying home, making an awesome product, and shipping that around the world instead of shipping labor around.
Man, that's beautiful, man. Thank you for that. Again, you guys are watching Hbtv, the show with my special guest, Papo Js, Lambanog, vodka. Again, stressing out the Lambanog portion of that label there. So Dave OSMENA and Mike BORJA. One of the things
I thought of a good name for our reserve.
Yeah,
you mentioned it. You definitely mentioned it. Tito Harry.
Oh,
That's a great name for our reserve. Tito
man,
Harry.
I would be honored, man. I would be honored. And I want the
Everybody's got Tito
typewriter label, bro. I gotta have the
yeah.
typewriter label.
I mean, you can call it Tito Harry's hooch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that would be amazing. I mean, limited, dude. You gotta be limited.
I love it.
Gotta be a limited edition, you know, and things like that. Well, and Mike, when was the last time you went back home?
Man, it's been a while. It's 2007 was the last time I've been back, and I've been meaning to get back because after 2007 was having kids. So I got two small. You know, well, they're not small anymore, but I've got a 11-year-old and a 10-year-old. My 11-year-old's about to be 12. She's a girl, and my boy is 10, and he's going to be 11 this year. But you know, I think they're ready. You know, after this whole pandemic is over, I want to take them back.
Yeah.
And you know, unfortunately, my dad's not going to be around, but you know, my mom's still around, and you know, it would be great to have that experience with their grandparents to go back to the Philippines. So, but yeah, it's 2007. I was there. I went to go visit my cousins in San Pablo. I went to Boracay. Went to Visayas. So got to see, you know, some of my cousins in Iloilo, and my cousins in San Pablo City and Manila as well.
So some of your family is from Visayan, the Visayan Islands. That's
from the Visayan area. So that's where Iloilo is. So they're in the Visayan. So and then we've got to see Guano on the screen too. So
nice. Well, that's really cool. My wife's family's from that part of the area. We're from Luzon, but would love to visit, you know, that area where you guys are from, and heard it's very beautiful and things like that. So I got a question from one of our audience here in the chat right here, actually from my sister, and she was just asking you guys, like, what was some of the most challenging issues trying to break into the U.S. market?
Dave, you go with that one. I think it might be the name. I mean, just getting people familiar with the name, right?
Yeah, it takes a bit to get folks saying Lambanog. You know, so that's actually why we kind of went with Lambanog vodka. You throw the bottle up one more time, and it says Papo Js Lambanog vodka.
Yeah.
So we wanted to sort of normalize it a little bit. We're definitely moving towards taking vodka off the label. Once our next shipment is not going to have the word vodka on there, because you know we have sort of in a small market normalized it. We found that once you get sort of people trying it, and then you say Lambanog a couple times, you know, by the end of the night, everybody's loving saying the word Lambanog. So we're definitely getting past that hurdle of sort of that piece. I'd say another hurdle is sort of even in the Filipino market, you know. You get a little bit of a market or a little bit of an attitude from some OG, like the actual immigrants, like you know, your parents that came over. They'll remember Lambanog as that crazy drink that Tito Harry was drinking off to the side, you know, and it's a sort of a crazy sort of imagery that they have. Like, I don't know about that stuff, but you know, if you actually try it, it's amazing. That's one of the things that really excited Mike and I. It was, you know, this stuff is actually really good, and Filipinos kind of need to take a step back and understand like what they have is amazing. You know, you get this sort of, what I've found is you know, I grew up here, but and going back and spending time with folks is a certain desire to be westernized in the Philippines.
Yes.
You know, I have a very, very close family. I don't know, they're almost cousins. They're not, but they are. You know, one of them is Monsignor, and I tell the story a lot, so Mike's gonna like tune out. But there's he's a Monsignor, and after one of the tornadoes, or not tornadoes, what did I say that?
Typhoon.
One of the hurricanes, typhoons, typhoons, typhoons. One of the typhoons came through the islands, you know, it really ravaged an area. So he was calling some of the outer islands to talk to his people and his friends, and he had a friend who was a fisherman, and he called him up and he was, how are you doing? Are you okay? And the guy's like, oh, we're pulling out, we're taking out, but my boat's ruined, so the fishing is, I've got to figure out what we're gonna do until we're fishing, but we're gonna make it, basically. It was generally positive. And he says, let me talk to your daughter. And so he asked the daughter, like, how are you doing? What's going on? And he's like, oh, it's great. Instead of having to eat fish from the sea all the time, we've got canned Spam. And now I can eat Spam, and I don't have to eat the mangoes and coconuts from the tree. Like, wait, that is all I want, right? So yeah, so you've got to understand, like, the folks are you've got to look at what you've got in the Philippines and say, like, this is actually what the world wants,
Right.
And if you need to embrace what you have there. And understand it. And just Lambnog is just one of the products, It's
And
an amazing product that you could do.
Right. And, to kind of tail off what Dave was saying, I think, well, for me personally, I've spent most of my life trying to assimilate to being American. And now as I get older and I've got children of my own, and knowing and my parents sharing the knowledge of what it was like growing up in the Philippines, it's more of now us trying to share our culture with everybody else, as opposed to assimilating to the culture that we've been trying to live in. And and I get it. Our parents really worked hard to get here and wanted us to assimilate and kind of call it fit in, speak English at home. So not much Tagalog was spoken where I grew up. They didn't want to put me at, I guess, a quote unquote disadvantage against, some of the other kids that I'd be going to school with. So now, as I get older, I think it's really important to share the Filipino culture. And, to tell what Dave was saying, it's really important to let people know that we have a product, a really good product that we could share with everybody. And it's truly a Filipino product. And it's something that we as a culture, as a people, should be proud of, along with the mangoes and the coconuts. But, I mean, this is something truly Filipino. Yeah. And we should be proud to share that culture with everybody else.
And I love you guys, during that whole conversation, you guys touched on a couple of points. I grew up here as well. And for myself, I'm Filipino American, and back in the days, there was this little divide between the Filipino Americans and, folks coming over from the Philippines, just like immigrated, just like you guys, just like my cousins and people before. And so there was like this little divide. So one thing that you guys were talking about is that, unlike from what I see, unlike either other Asian cultures or even other cultures, we don't have that unified network system to where how you described it, Dave, some of the uncles and aunties from back then are kind of resistant about the Lambanog that you're trying to present to them, and seeing it this way, your way, our way, versus like us growing up, there was a lot of competition between Filipinos. I'm pretty, I can speak for myself. I was not in your guys' shoes and what you guys seen in your different neighborhoods. And that's a big thing. I think, especially us, as far as our generation and our kids, and what they see and what we're teaching them, it's one of those things we do got to uplift each other. We're the ones here. We're the ambassadors for the Filipino culture here, because this is what everybody's going to see. And I'm, everybody here, I'm pretty sure, you're a proud Filipino. You're a proud Filipino. I am. My family is as well. So we try to be those type of ambassadors over here and do that as well. So I believe in uplifting everybody. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people say, hey, man, you should do this, you should do that, kind of make it pro-Filipino. Not against that stuff. I love my people. I love uplifting my people, but I love to uplift everybody in our world community. And that's what I'm about with that. And what you guys are doing is great. It's a great message. And helping us out, for the Filipino people and just everybody out there, just getting to know us through one of the vehicles would be Papo Js, Lambnog, and soon to come, you heard it here on HBTV, Tito Harry's limited edition typewriter label. Get that soon. On site on the website, or when things open up, you guys can go to Bev mode or something like that. I do have another question in the chat here. Again, it's my sister, right? So she got some questions. She said, how would somebody be eligible to be a brand ambassador for your product? And she says, obviously, I'm very interested. So I'll let you guys talk about that if you guys have any information for her on that.
Hey, you've got our information. She just has to give us a call. We'll figure it out. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yes. So just moving along with it. You guys talked about how your goal is to have that on every shelf in everybody's house, whether it be Filipino or whatever, and things like that. What are some of the strategies that you guys are doing now to promote Papo Js, to get it out into the markets, into the bars? I know it's been probably very challenging with the 2020, but pre-pandemic, and how have you guys pivoted to be able to give this out into the communities out here?
Well, I think before the pandemic started, Dave and I are very DIY right now, right? Okay. So it would take, we'd pick a night or whatever, and we would just hit the pavement and go hit the bars, talk to the bar managers, and over time we'd slowly grow these relationships. It would maybe take 2 or 3 visits, but eventually we would get it on the shelves. We would get people buying our bottles. Dave does a lot of the legwork, also hitting up some of the liquor stores as well. Mm-hmm. We've hired 2 wonderful ladies that are helping us market the brand right now. They've been very influential as far as getting us the right contacts, helping us get a direction, because Dave and I are just like, all right, let's go hit some bars. And that was our strategy. Well, they sat us down and allowed us to focus on what was important, what areas we needed to hit. And then of course the pandemic hit. The other thing that helps out a lot is doing shows like this. Doing these video blogs and doing these shows on YouTube, and reaching out to the Filipino community, and sitting down with people like you, Harry, and making sure that we get the word out to your audience. I don't know, Dave, can you add to that? I'm sure you can. I'm sure I'm missing something.
No, the only thing I'd say is, we were surprised, actually. Well, I don't know if I was surprised. It was more of we had a great reception from kind of mixologists, people looking for something different, something adventurous, because this became sort of a adventurous drink. We started making inroads into the bar scene, into the restaurant scene, and that was a great strategy in that, you could get onto a menu. Someone would make a cocktail, and there were some really cool cocktails made with Lambanog, and it was a lot of fun. Because there was, what attracted these mixologists. These, we'd be in the west side of LA, that sort of thing, where we would get on a menu next to some really creative cocktails. That was pre-pandemic, and then when the pandemic hit, that sort of tailed off, and we adjusted. We had to adjust to trying to get into, or trying to sell bottle by bottle almost, doing something like this where we're talking about our bottle and showing to the shops that we're on, and people could go and sort of order online and get some bottles, and get some bottles into their hands. Like Mike said, we hired some folks. We got an actual distributor now that's helping us get into more stores. So. We've had to shift strategies over the last few months, but it's been fun. It's definitely been interesting. But like I said, it's basically bottle by bottle right now. We try to sell each bottle every time we can. And,
it's
just fun that way. It's just fun.
There's been a great stress in our strategy to focus our energy right now on social media.
Okay.
So whether it be Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, how we have to get the word out, and then trying to find influential people that can help us with the brand.
Okay.
Get it out.
Mainly
Filipinos that can help us get the brand out there.
Well, we got one willing brand ambassador to be right here, man. So I'll tell her to hit you up. It's my sister's school.
Hit us up. Yeah.
And Dave, when things open up, man, I'll be down with the Papo Js street team. I'll march down the street with you and promote this stuff. So going back to like mixologists that you guys were talking about, Mike, really quick, break down, how do you like to drink your Papo Js? Do you have any type of like recipe that you like to drink that you like to share with any of us?
My wife, who doesn't drink a lot of hard liquor, loves Papo Js.
Okay.
So finally got her to like something hard liquor. One of her favorites is to get some Pellegrino, chilled Pellegrino, throw it in with the Papo Js, and splash of, well, not a splash, but put some lemonade in there. So it's a nice, refreshing drink for the summertime.
Nice.
Sunday mornings, little OJ, little Papo Js.
Yeah.
And a little Pellegrino as well. So it's great. It's a versatile spirit. And we can make, a variation of the Moscow Mule. We call it the Manila Mule.
Okay.
So, but yeah, sometimes I've been drinking it right now, neat, this whole time. That's one of my favorites, is to just drink it neat. Now you can chill it in the freezer. I know that some of my friends have chilled it in the freezer and have taken it neat straight from the freezer, and that's refreshing too as well. I've tried that, and that's actually pretty good too as well. But I know that Dave's really the mixologist between the two of us. He's the one that's been experimenting with this, and he's got some good ones that he can share.
Yeah, break that down. Break that down, Dave.
Oh, man.
Let's hear that.
That's funny. I'm a neat guy. I like it neat, I should say, and I like it room temperature. Sometimes I will do like this is through the show I was doing this, which is an ice cube made from coconut water, and then I pour room temperature over the top of that ice cube. But that coconut water cleans it off. But that's kind of a thing I've been doing lately is putting a lot of coconut water in with Lambanog, and that all those electrolytes in coconut water make the next day a lot easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the science, man. It's just the science, man.
It's science, exactly. I've been doing it in the last few weeks. It's been cold and crappy, but I've been wanting to cold and crappy for Southern California standards, I should say. But I've been looking for the summer, so I've been getting pineapple juice, fresh pineapple juice, and I chop up a jalapeno, and I muddle a jalapeno, pour the pineapple juice on top of that, and then the equal amount of Papo Js on top of that. And I just shake it up, get it all mixed up. And you get like that sweet, and then the smell from the jalapeno. Jalapeno doesn't add a ton of heat, but it gives you that sort of that nose. I don't know. If you want to be a wine guy, I'll say like nose. I'll say that nose on there. And it really like makes that drink nice and clean and super refreshing. And then one more, coffee.
Yeah,
coffee.
That's my fave right
Whoa.
there.
Papo Js, cold brew coffee. If you want to keep it simple, cold brew coffee, and of course coconut water. And you make that nice and cold. You make that your first drink on a Friday night, and then you're good for the weekend.
Is that right?
You're up. So you do it like 4:30 because that's COVID 5. 4:30 is COVID 5.
COVID 5.
Yeah, COVID 5.
Okay.
You start that one, and then you're up, and you're having you're home, but you're still having a good time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I was telling Dave that for St. Patrick's Day, that his coffee drink, you add some Baileys to that, and then it becomes the drink of March.
Actually, no, I was doing.
Did you do that already?
Well, no, I just left out the coffee, and I was just doing Papo Js, Baileys.
Baileys.
Yeah, Papo Js, and then coconut water. And then maybe I was probably maybe a little bit of coconut milk on top of it, and then boom.
I've got to try that. So
yeah.
you bag the coffee totally.
Yeah, just because Bailey's has some coffee in it already.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, so yeah, that's a nice little drink. So, little
So
Bailey's,
what do you call
Papo Js.
What are we going to call that drink, Dave?
Tito Harry.
Harry?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, man. You know, when it's cool when we can get together and we can get down with a release party of Tito Harry's, man. And you know, we're in the backyard, just getting the cups in the air with that. I think it would be really cool.
We better get our graphics people working on the Tito Harry's label, buddy.
There it is, man. There it is. That would be crazy, man. That would be crazy right there, honestly.
The coffee might be a Borja.
Yeah, it'll be the BORJA. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, that has a nice ring to it, man. I like it. And if I may, maybe you know, I heard you say that you're doing the rendition of the Moscow Mule to the Manila Mule. What about like the Manila Carabao or like the Manila Bay or something like that? I think that'd be dope, that. Right?
That a lot.
So yeah, that'll be it, man. But again, you guys are hearing this first. This is the think tank, one of the think tanks here for Papo Js. We're just having a good time here. We're in the conversation with it. You know, we're almost coming up to our time, gentlemen. It's been a great time, been fun. Thank you guys. Just a couple more questions. Just for those listening to your message, this is a very inspiring message to me, and I'm sure the people that are going to be watching it, and the millions that are going to be watching it, and all that good stuff, you know, in the future. But like, what would you tell? What would you tell somebody? What would you tell somebody going off and wanting to do something like this? Again, they got it on paper. They got it on paper. They just need that first step. They just need that little first nudge. They're seeing two gentlemen like you and you know, Jota and everybody else. I know it takes a village to run this stuff, but what do you suggest and what do you give out? You know, what kind of message, or what would be the message to give out to those people that are interested in doing something like this?
I mean, the way we kind of approached this, we started to do it very MBA style, doing a lot of work, a lot of research, and then we said, you know what, F that. We went Viking style. And we said, let's just go one step at a time.
Yep.
And we'll get past that next step. Sort of that, like, let's get Lambanog onto the beach in California, and then we'll burn all the boats so there's no going back.
Yep.
And we'll keep pushing and pushing and pushing until everybody's got a bottle on that shelf next to tequila, next to rum, next to vodka.
Nice.
That's what we're doing. So I think that's sort of, you know what? There are a million reasons not to do stuff. And I'm sure people try to talk you out of doing these podcasts or trying to do everything that you're trying to do. But, you know, everybody's telling you not to do stuff. There's a lot of reasons not to do stuff. You just got to go and try. And that's it. And then don't stop.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it, you know, we're on this earth for such a short period of time, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we're here to make an impact. And, you know, one of my things where I want to make an impact is I want to share with my kids and my kids' kids our culture and how important it was to me, how important it was to my mom and dad and their mom and dad to be Filipino. And that's important. So, to answer your question, you know, to make it successful, you got to believe in it, right? And surround people that believe in the same things that you do. And you got to make it fun. You know, this has been fun. I mean, hey, listen, you know, I couldn't ask for a better partner in doing something like this. I mean, we make it fun. Yeah, I mean, we have our struggles. And we're trying to get this thing out, and we're trying to get the word out, and you know, we have this product that we want to share with people, but the process has been challenging, but it's been fun. And so if you surround yourself with people that believe in your idea and are passionate about your idea, I mean, the sky's the limit in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, and I think for you, you know, with the podcast, you surround people that love you and support what you're doing, you're going to keep doing it. So I think that's important. It's about the people around you.
Thank you guys for that. And thank you guys for taking the time. I'm really excited for you guys. Pushing Papo Js and getting it out there. Anything that I can do in my family, which is my team, you know what I mean, my sister, my wife, my kids, anything we can do to help out, to help you push out the product, and anything you need, just let me know. We're always down. Like I said, we got to uplift each other, and that's what we're all about here, pushing things forward and just making things very positive for everything. So I do appreciate that. Blessings to you guys. Much love and success. Before we do head out, anything off the top of your heads that you guys wanna say to the audience?
Just check us out, papojs.com, Papo Js Spirits on Instagram. From there, you can definitely reach out to us if you need a bottle. You should be able to find a bottle just from the website alone.
Yep. And you should be able to find these hats, right, Dave?
Yeah,
they're online too as well.
Those hats are definitely on the website.
Yeah.
And Mike, really quick, man. I see you got a couple of axes, guitars back there, and basses. Just really quick, man. You play by chance, man? You play?
Yes, I do. Actually, I'm in a band called Lambnog. I play with 3 other guys that I've known for over 20 years. We have, I can't remember, I'm losing count. We have maybe 7 or 8 studio albums. We write our own stuff. We've been traveling to England, Australia, Germany, various cities here in the United States, and also in Canada. So the name of the band is Loud and Swain, Loudenswain, named after a character from the movie Vision Quest, played by Matthew Modine. So, looks like a light bulb just went off.
Oh, wow. Vision Quest, baby. Vision Quest. I love it, man. I love it.
That's
Good. Go watch some Vision Quest, people. If you don't know, now you know, right? So it's all good.
Yep. So watch some Vision Quest and check us out on loudandswain.com.
All right, brother. Well, you guys, thank you again for your time. I'm going to put that information into the video description, so after when we're done here, it's going to immediately be posted on the YouTube channel, and I'll shoot that out, get people to visit the IGs and your website, and just everybody right now, if you get some time, when you get some time, go ahead and get yourself a bottle, man. I'm going to say what they're like, $25 or something like that, 27, 28 bucks. Just, if you deliver it, or if they order it from one of those beverage websites, it can get delivered to their house, right? Am I correct when I say that?
Yeah, you can actually. And if you go to holidaywinesellers.com,
Holiday Wine Cellars,
and discount code Papo Js -ship, Papo Js -ship should get you free shipping.
Free shipping. All right.
Check it
All
out,
right, everybody.
And Harry, hold up that label if you won't mind again.
Yeah.
But there's if you look, I think that's is that our 2020 or 2019 award that we won?
Oh yes, it is. Yes, that's 2020 Bartender Spirits Award Gold. The gold. They got the gold right there.
The gold.
You got the gold on it. I'm showing it on my other camera. I got a little product camera here, so let me. So the audience will see that. And I'm pointing it out. It's a little bit more clear. They can see the label right there. I'm pointing out the label right there. But yeah, man, good stuff, brothers. Good stuff. Thank you again. You guys have a blessed rest of your night with your families. You have a blessed work week, and you guys be safe out there. Definitely, let's keep in touch. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, if you guys got some time, we can do a recap later down the line in my next, future seasons. Love to bring you guys back. Just talk recap and just see how you guys are doing.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us, Harry.
All right, guys. You guys stay blessed. You guys stay safe. I'll talk to you guys again. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was my guest tonight. Papo Js. Again, this is the bottle here. Papo Js Lambanog vodka. Go ahead and check that out. Get it out there. You can either visit their IG. I'll put that in the description for you guys to check out. Reach out to them. If you guys want to be a brand ambassador, they'll get something out in place. Get a t-shirt, get a hat, the one that Big Mike was wearing right there, and sport it. Get the word out and say, don't make it like, we're not alcoholics here. We're just spreading some good love, some good spirit here. Papo Js Lambanog vodka. Okay, so again, my special guests, Dave OSMENA and Mike BORJA, we do appreciate them coming up here and sharing their passion, sharing their message, talking about their culture as well. So until next time, I'll be on again next Sunday at 6 p.m. Hope to see you guys there. You guys be safe and you guys take care.